Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I'm with Lynx.
Well, I'm back.
And we're going to be doing a tier list on what games in the classic were the best from S to F and, well, which ones were the worst at the end.
Of course.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so the first game is going to be the classic. And by the way, in this video, me and Lynx have to agree on where it has to go.
He's right, y'all know.
Yeah. So, Lynx, I think the classic was an overall S tier because it was just so good. There was so much to do. The map was perfect to reflect the time of the classic Roblox. What do you think?
Yeah, the lobby, of course, had so much to do. Unlike the hunt was kind of just a hub,
Bland. Yeah, it was just a way to get around. It was a portal and an item collector. But
practically, but they made the classic pretty fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed it, so I'd have to say A tier. A tier is probably a good spot for it.
So what do we want to do?
What are you thinking, Waylon?
I'm thinking S tier. That's what I said, but
You know what? We can go ahead and throw it into S tier.
all right. I think it deserves S. So
S tier.
the Roblox the classic hub is going into S tier.
All those secrets out there. there's a lot of secrets in
there's
lobby,
some
definitely.
Yeah, there was definitely some really cool secrets, and it was very involving. You could do a lot with other people that you didn't know, which was fun. So the next game is Tower Defense Simulator. Personally, I played one round of it, and I got bored. I got one token from it, but I had to go to something else because I thought it was boring. So I'm going to say it was a C tier. What do you think, Lynx?
I don't have too big thoughts on tower defense games. I don't know. I didn't play it, so I wouldn't know if it's like just playing the game or if it's a side mission or whatnot. I wouldn't have any thoughts, but if it's just basic tower defense to beat the game, I know some of the other games did that, which I did not like. I kind of like a new story.
Yeah,
if you know what
something
I mean.
else to
Yeah,
do.
keep it interesting. I'm gonna give it about a C or a D tier.
So why don't we go D tier? I feel like, yeah. So I think the Tower Defense was a D tier.
Alrighty.
So the next one up was Livetopia, which was, I did it. Did you do it?
No.
No. Okay, so basically you would walk around the map and you would collect ticks while doing deliveries, almost like an Uber. Like you would go around on a scooter and deliver, and you had to do it 12, I think it was 16 times you had to do it to complete and get all tokens. It was pretty easy to me. I enjoyed it. It did get a little boring at the end, but I ended up completing it and gotten all 5 tokens. So I personally think it was a B tier, but what do you think?
Well, I didn't play it, but going based off of what Waylon said, I've never played the game before, so I don't know if Livetopia is like.
It's basically like
a game.
It's basically like Brookhaven almost. It's a role play.
Okay, role play game.
Yeah,
kind of like that. So that sounds kind of interesting. Being able riding around almost like an Uber. It sounds like a good way to play a game. I'd say B tier is pretty good.
Yeah, I think I will throw it in B tier.
All
right. So the next game is Toilet Tower Defense. This is pretty much the same as Tower Defense Simulator, but I think it was a little bit better. It had a story to it. It had the whole skibbity toilet vibe to it. You were the cameraman, and you had to fight the toilets as they came at you. And I liked it because they were really cool maps. There was a city behind it and everything. So in my it was a tower defense game, but at the same time, it had a story to it. So I was going to say I think it should go in a C tier just to kind of midway between those two games because tower defense we gave a D, so I feel like that one should go in C tier. What do you think, Lance?
I haven't played this one either. I played pretty much the rest of them as you see down there, but I didn't play this one. So, Toilet Tower Defense. I know, I've heard about it. It's definitely the top tier tower defense game, and going off of what Waylon said, playing it, some new stuff, new additions. Not unlike the toilet tower defense or the tower defense simulator. Sorry. Um, I would say placing it a tier higher than tower defense simulator would make sense. Yeah.
So do you think we should go with C tier?
Yeah, C tier sounds good.
All right, C tier it goes. Okay, so the next one was Gunfighting Arena, which I love this game. I'm trying to get upgraded on it. It's so fun. Basically, what you had to do is you had to use classic weapons to get points, and you had to do 50 kills with each different weapon. There was like 5 weapons to get your 5 tokens. It was a lot to do, but I enjoy that game. I like those types of games, so I'm going to have to say that this was an A tier. I think it was an A tier. It was enjoyable. It was a lot of repetitive, but it was still a good game. What do you think?
Gunfight Arena. Now this is one I did play, guys, so I would know about it. Gunfight Arena, I'd say, it was pretty easy to me. I play a lot of gun fighting games, so I know it was pretty easy to me. But being able to use the different weapons was pretty interesting to me. And the maps, I love the new maps. It's kind of like a blast of nostalgia.
Yeah, you get
the nostalgia was very much there.
Yeah, all the old classic weapons.
The different weapons were very interesting to use. Though I did find a glitch in the system, so you are able to kind of kill your own self. We're gonna put a clip of that right now. You're able to kill your own self, which gives you a boost.
Here it is.
Step.
Here it is right now.
So yeah, the game was fun. But some new additions there. I'd have to go B tier for this one.
B tier.
B tier.
I'll agree with you on that. It was good, but still it had that nostalgic vibe. But I agree with the B tier. I think we'll put it there. Okay, our next game is Restaurant Tycoon. I know we both played this.
Don't get me started on Restaurant Tycoon, man.
Man, I actually have played all the simulators of you run your own restaurant, you run your own store, or you maybe run different places. So it's Tycoon almost, but you get to build your own restaurants. But people that have never played the game before might have had trouble getting it all set up. And I feel like a classic game, or not a classic game, just in general, if we're going to have an event, the game should be easy to get started on so you can push through it and get it done.
So basically, Restaurant Tycoon, you had to serve a certain amount of people, right? But my goodness, I AFK'd there for like 4 hours. It was not fun to me, guys.
I caught myself sometimes. I didn't AFK, but I had to leave sometimes and take a break. It was just so much that you had to sit on the game and just let these classic characters come to your restaurant and eat, and they came slow. Yeah. There'd be one every like 5 minutes.
There was nothing new about it. There might have been some new structures, but that's not really a big part of the game itself.
Yeah, the ticks was easy to get, but getting those tokens were not very good. So, in my opinion, I was going to think it should be in C tier, but that's up to you.
Me personally, I would put it in F tier. It's like my least enjoyable.
Okay, yeah, I will.
Yeah,
can we agree on D?
Meet in the middle and say D tier, y'all.
Yeah, D tier for.
This was my least favorite game playing it.
Okay, the next one is Driving Empire. Lincoln, I don't know if you played this. Did you not?
I didn't play
So it's basically a racing simulator where you can earn cars and earn points and buy and upgrade your car to whatever you'd like it to look like. But so you would spawn on this cloud in the middle of the game, and the cloud had a big classic map on it, and you could race Builder Man. You could race Builder Man. You could collect ticks, and it was hard to get those tokens. I will agree. So in my opinion, it was one of the worst games. I'm gonna have to say it was F tier because it just took so long. It was, you had to get the tokens. You had to race the same person over and over and over and over. I could see it'd be fun if you raced them like 4 times with 4 different nostalgic characters. but it was the same character 50 times at least, and I got really bored. So I'm gonna say it's an F tier.
Yeah, guys, I've played Driving Empire before. I actually enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the game. I'm kind of a car guy, kind of not. But I enjoyed playing the game, doing modifications, getting better. Practically, that's what the game is, getting better. Um, so I can't really say much about it not playing the event, but it sounds like it could get boring easily based off of what Waylon said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, doing that, I'd have to say it's about a C tier. I don't know too much about it, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. I like the game, but the way Waylon described it, it's just not it.
So do you want to meet in the middle again and do D tier?
Yeah, we'll meet in the middle. Say D tier.
All right, so D tier for Driving Empire. The next one was Dress to Impress. Now, this one, in my opinion, was easy. You had to complete an obby to get ticks, and no, you had to complete an obby to get the tokens. There are some hard parts in the obby, but we got through it, and also the ticks was easy to collect.
The ticks were pretty easy. You just had to walk around.
I'm gonna say this was an S tier. It was so I'm not into these type of games, but it was so easy. It literally probably took me at most 30 minutes to do.
It was easy. It was enjoyable. Now, I enjoyed it. Pretty generic, I'd say. It had a new feature. I know I've played it for the hunt, right? I know the features, and the new feature with the obby is pretty good, and but it was exciting, just not exciting enough to be an S tier like Waylon says. I'm gonna have to put it at an A tier.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. I think I'll agree with you on that. It was close to S tier, and it was fun. So I'm gonna say this one was an A tier. I think that'll work.
All right, I like that.
Okay, so the next one is Clip It. Now, this is pretty much like a TikTok on Roblox. I haven't personally never actually played it before the classic, but I ended up playing it. So basically what you would do is you would go around the different maps, and you would find the characters and take a picture with them to get the tokens. It was pretty easy, and throughout the maps, the ticks was hidden. I completed it, and I thought it was easy. It wasn't the best. It took a little while. It probably took about an hour to do, but it was enjoyable. I got to walk around. So in my opinion, I think it was a B tier.
Guys, I played the game a little bit, and I walked around the map part of it, right? And I just had no idea what I was doing, honestly. I hopped in for like maybe 5 minutes, but I had no idea what I was doing. Waylon said it was easy, so I guess I would I probably needed to play more to figure out what was going on, but it just wasn't there for me. So I'd have to say it'd probably be about a D tier.
Okay, do we want to do C tier?
Yeah, we'll agree on C tier.
All right, C tier then. Okay, so the next one is one of my personal favorite games is Blade Ball.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
It's a pretty good game. It is a nostalgic game, but it's not as old as some of the other games. Personally, it was a long game. You literally had to sit there and do the same thing for a long time. I know Lincoln completed it. I did a little bit of it and didn't end up finish it. But I feel like for younger children that wanted to play the game, it would have been confusing to complete. And it was definitely harder on tablet. I have a computer, but for people that were on mobile devices, it might have been harder. I'm going to have to say it was an overall F tier, but it's up to you.
Certainly, Waylon is right. Now, I did play this game for a long time trying to do the classic. And so I got a feel for it. I like the new maps. They put in some new maps for
the maps were pretty good. I will agree on that.
And the fourth dimension, aka one times one times one times one. That boss fight, that was all right. It was repetitive, really repetitive.
So what do you want to say?
For the Blade Ball, completing it and all, it took a little while, but I'd have to go with a C tier overall.
C tier. Do we want to do?
Actually, I'll put it in D tier.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to do F or D?
We'll put it in F tier.
All right, I think.
I don't know. We it's the only thing that doesn't have anything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next one I didn't play, but from hearing it on YouTube and things like that, when I was posting, I did hear that it was very repetitive. You had to go to different maps. Um, I heard from other YouTubers that you had to collect ticks in one map, but then it would make you do it again and again and again to get those tokens. Um, to me, I don't like I said, I don't like those type of games, but I did not hear that it was enjoyable from a lot of different people. So, in my experience of hearing about it, I've never played it. If you liked it, comment down below. But I am going to have to say, since I didn't play it, I'm going to put it in the B tier.
I didn't play it either. I didn't really hear about it. I didn't know about it. But repetition is just not it. I don't know if there were any new additions or not for the classic. I love, like I said earlier, I love having additions, right? And so, um, this game just, um, I'd go ahead and put it in a C tier. C tier, I don't know too much about it. C tier is my go-to.
I'll agree with you on that. I think we'll put it in C tier.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 5 more left, so let's see. I played Bee Swarm, so the next is Bee Swarm. I've played this before. Now, when I was younger, I used to watch Roblox. I used to have an old Roblox account, and I remember this game. This game was fun. It's always been around. I don't know personally who created it, but they did an awesome job at the game. It is fun, and it just brings back that classic nostalgic because it was already classic, and I'm glad that it was able to participate in this event. So I'm gonna have to say overall, since it was an actual classic game, I'm gonna say it was an A tier.
Yeah, it is a classic game, really classic game. Once I hopped in, I knew exactly where I was at. Very classic game. But there were different ways of getting ticks and tokens. You had to play the game a bit to get some of the ticks, of course, and there was a new thing. You had to take a portal to go ahead and do this thing to get the tokens,
Yeah.
like a wave type deal,
Yeah,
where it was slimes and zombies.
Yeah, they would come at you.
Yeah, that was all right. It was confusing, and if it was confusing for me, I just let the people around me carry me. Honestly, that's how I got my tokens. And getting the ticks were, around the map, kind of like a lot of them were. But overall, not much to say about it. Pretty straightforward, generic. May take some time. I'm gonna go B tier.
B tier. I'll agree with you on that because I didn't play it as much, but I'll agree with you on B tier. Okay, so the next one is where I'm gonna get a little angry. Bed Wars. Did you play Bed Wars?
I only collected the ticks. I did not
Okay.
find a way to do the tokens, but collecting the ticks around the lobby.
So basically, you had to protect your bed from a raid of penguins, and in my opinion, these penguins were too overpowered. They were very hard to fight because they would come in raids, and there was like 10 raids, I think, and you'd get 1 token each 10 raids. You would have to do this. I think that's how it went. I forgot, but I really did not like the game. It was not enjoyable, and I had to play it for at least 2 hours to complete it. It was boring to me. I'm gonna have to say it was a D tier.
Alright. I played it. I walked around the map. One of the ticks was really hard to find. I collected a few of the ticks. One of the ticks were really hard to find. So I walked around for about 30 minutes looking for all of them. It actually did take a while to find it, so yeah. Going off of what Waylon said about the tokens, that just does not sound fun, y'all. If it's like super difficult like that and hard to understand, I wouldn't put it too highly. I would say like C tier, not knowing much about it. Waylon puts it at D tier, so I'll let him decide where it goes.
I'll say D tier for the Bed Wars. The next one was a Dusty Trip. Now, this, in my opinion, was an overall S. It was an overall S.
A Dusty Trip is actually like it's such a good game. Actually,
funny things would happen throughout the game. There were items, cool items that you could collect, and the boss fight was overall kind of easy. And it was fun. It was a very fun game.
It was fun. Yo.
Every step of the way, I found it enjoyable. So I'm gonna say it was an S tier. Do you agree with me, Lincoln?
I'd very much have to say S tier, but before we place it, I did. It was like fun discovering the game. Like this one was the most fun I think I've had playing one of the classic games, and that's saying a lot. You know, this one, a Dusty Trip. I've never heard about it before. The time being.
Me too. I have never heard about it until it, but I certainly enjoyed it. And I think I'm going to play it in the future.
And coming out of the blues, the way of collecting the ticks, looking around the boss areas, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard either. I'd have to say S tier. I love that one.
All right, S tier it goes. The next one was Adopt Me. I don't know. Did you do this one?
Yeah, I did parts of it.
So I did parts of it too. I ended up completing it on the second to last day, but it was kind of hard because, well, it wasn't hard, but it was kind of repetitive because you had to fully grown one of your pets, and it took a long time to complete.
Yeah.
And you get a token every time you age it up one. The ticks were pretty fun to find, but you had to walk the whole map to find them. They were pretty easy to find. But I would say it wasn't the greatest. I'm going to have to say it was a B tier.
For me, I played it. I also saw my sister play it, you know, the basics. Adopt Me, collecting the ticks, I could not find a tick anywhere. Like, I looked all around the map. I couldn't find it. I know I saw my sister find a few, but, like, you had to look in quite a few nooks and crannies. And playing the game, like, having to grow some and taking all that time, it wouldn't be enjoyable to me.
Yeah, definitely.
But on the plus side, it was fun walking around, you know. Yeah. I'd have to go with D tier on this one.
D tier. I will agree with you on that. It was not that great.
We'll meet in the middle and say C.
All right, C tier is fine. All right, C tier it goes.
And then, finally,
Arsenal.
I like this one. I really like this one. Did you play this one?
I did play it, but I did have trouble finding a lobby, which kind of didn't make me enjoy it that much. Like I said when I was talking about gun simulator, the gun simulator. I like those types of games, but this one is more story based. It's more I did play this during the hunt and I didn't enjoy it, but for this one I did enjoy it. I'm going to say it was an A tier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our wires broke over here.
Arsenal did a really good job during the hunt. I don't know what Waylon's talking about, but I really enjoyed it during the hunt, being a new map, doing something new for it. And they did the same thing for the classic. You had to fight a bunch of mobs.
Can I say something real quick? Mm-hmm. I like this. I will actually give you a plus side on this game. They took a lot of time into both of them. I will agree with Lincoln on that. They have different characters that you will see, and there's voiceovers and everything. And I don't know what is the developers behind this game, but they definitely did an awesome job on putting this together. I'm still gonna keep my A tier, but if you think it's an S tier, we can change it to that.
I played through it quite a bit of the ways through, and the game was really enjoyable. You know, gunfighting game, new maps, all the great stuff. So yeah, and finding some of the ticks too. They were hard, but very, very interesting. I'd have to put it at A tier.
All right, I think we'll both agree on A tier then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's our tier list, ladies and gentlemen. I certainly like this tier list. I like how it's set up, and Comment down below if you disagree with something or would change something, what you would change in this order. But this is our tier list, guys. So are we cutting to the outro?
Let's go.
Let's go. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like,
and comment if you would change the tier list up.
And as always,
Be the captain
of the chaos.